Hi Gemini, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. I'm going to do the reading for June for you guys with tarot and astrology. I'm going to do two quick announcements and then we'll get into the reading. The first announcement is I have a channel called Pick a Card, and it's youtube.com/pick-a-card, where you can get one of 50 readings as of now. There's going to be more readings later. They're all timeless and they're different topics, so you can go check that out if you're interested, mostly to do with relationships and stuff for now. But if you have any suggestions, just go and DM me on Instagram and say, hey, I want a reading for this or I want a reading for that, and then maybe I can incorporate it. The second announcement is that I'm adding in an extra ad in this video. The reason for this is YouTube is our service provider, right? And so they deserve to make money off of us posting content. We're using their infrastructure, so it makes a lot of sense to put in another ad. It also helps me and the channel grow, so I hope you guys understand and are supportive of that. Okay. So now I'm going to roll one of those ads, and then we're going to get into the reading. There's going to be two readings today from June until December 31st. Okay. Hi Gemini, thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Sun, Moon, and Rising Gemini for January, okay, Veroosh. June for the month of June, as well as carry over to the end of the year. So it's kind of your mid-year reading. Let's take a look at the cards. The first card that we have is the Queen of Cups. She's a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. Secondary transits in water as well. I feel like you're getting some really good advice from someone. Someone's really paying attention to your life at this time. She doesn't have to be the signs that I'm saying, but I think that somebody's paying good attention to you right now, and she's giving you some good suggestions about which way to go with things. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is the Jupiter card. I feel as though the advice can lead you in a very positive direction. I feel like you're meant to listen to this person. This person's speaking from the heart. They may not be a water sign, but they will definitely have this kind of heartfelt expression. They see something, they want to say something, it's important for them. The next message is the Tower. You're going to be challenged to face something right now. Maybe not right now, but you will be facing something that's really, really powerful. This may have to do with the eclipses in July. So in order to make a change, you're going to have to let something go. It's going to be as simple as that. Let something go in order to make a change. I think that somebody inspires you to do something better. The next message is the Devil card. So this is the card of Capricorn. This is the card of Jupiter. This is the card of Mars. And that's the signs that I mentioned. There could be somebody with whom you're dealing with who has ulterior motives or who has negative intentions towards you, or towards you or around you. And I feel like this person is seeing something about that there's some kind of negative ideation, negative ideas that somebody is bringing into their mind. The next message is we have the Prince of Swords. He's a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Secondary transits in air as well. So somebody who has a lot of air. This could be you, and even if you're a woman, this could be you. This is someone who is in some way breaking through something in order to achieve something else. Someone who faces their opposition head on and challenges their life to have something better. The next card is the Princess of Swords. She's a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, or a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. And what she's talking about is that there's a chance of a new adventure. There's chance of a new direction. I feel like this could be a connection between two air signs. If you're one of these air signs, be careful. Somebody's intentions could be maybe not so pure as they seem. So somebody might have like more of a darker fantasy, or maybe just want something superficial, and that could be something that you are releasing yourself from. It could be releasing yourself from someone who is very driven towards the act of intimacy and maybe not really open to anything else, and you call a spade and you sort of finish up that situation, to make it more fair for yourself. I'm going to pull 4 cards now from this deck. There's a bunch of different types of cards here, but I'm just cutting randomly, and I got 4 cards, so I'll use them all. So there's different types of cards here. You can see the different colors of the backs, but I just cut them randomly without thinking too much about it. So this is probably more all trumps. So you got a lot of trumps also in the initial reading, just a quick overview. And I think what it's signaling is that you're entering into some type of huge process, a huge kind of life experience. You either want someone and there's a new beginning, somebody's considering your kind of advances, or somebody's considering your presence in their life, or maybe as you're walking away from something, there's a relationship that's here on the horizon. There is a little caveat, as I said, that there could be someone who's seeking intimacy, ulterior motives. Then we have transformation, which is the Scorpio card. Change and transformation. This could be a Scorpio that can in some way lead you to some kind of insight. There's some kind of a breakthrough that's going on here. There's a Scorpio transformation, release, the end of a situation that leads to an improvement of your circumstances. I feel like maybe somebody's speaking from the heart, somebody is very considerate. The next message is gratitude, which is 111. And so I feel like maybe you are relieved to be released from a situation in which you were so sort of bound. I feel as though there were circumstances in your life, and I've been seeing this all year, there were circumstances in your life that were in some way feeling restrictive, or they were feeling like demotive, like you couldn't really do what you wanted. There was a restriction, there was a limitation for you, maybe within a relationship. There could be also the removal of a water sign from around you, and now you can actually change. I feel like maybe somebody had some tea on you, or had some kind of secrets that they were harboring. And I think that maybe for whatever reason that's been removed and you're being set free and able to go in a new direction. Then we have the Devil card, and then we have Temperance, Sagittarius, Synthesis. So spiritual union is confused with the physical. And what that means is that, when two people meet or when people connect, there's like this spiritual heightened union between two people that's ethereal. And this relationship could feel like this transcendental experience between yourself and another person. But there's this warning here, like, what is this devil doing here? He looks very focused and attentive, like he knows what he's doing. And I feel like maybe if this is not the devil, the Prince of Swords, then he's being confused by someone behind his back that's confusing two things. Maybe he has like subconscious motivations that are sexual mostly, and he's coming across as altruistic, and genuine, whereas in fact his motivation is much more like carnal, physical. Then we have the number 333, which is integrity, right? So it's like the question of integrity. Does this relationship add up, or is it going to come apart? Is it going to stand the test of time, or are you guys going to come to realize that it's not meant to be together? I feel as though there's a big part of liberation here. There's a big energy of liberation, upheaval, transformation, revolt. I feel like there is this real opportunity to kind of break apart and go a completely different direction, and I've been seeing that for you guys many times over, and it's interesting to see it in this spread because I feel like how do you say this? I feel like I've been seeing it from like far off since the beginning of the year. You can see those readings in your Gemini playlist. So maybe I've been seeing that for a while now, and now that I see it more closely, I'm like, oh, that's the real tea. That's how it looks like. So I feel like maybe that has to do with that. I feel as though you're being sort of appealed to someone. This is a very important person in your life right now, the Princess, the Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. But she too may have hidden motivations, and especially be careful of people coming through as incredibly altruistic at this time, like overly saturating you with sympathy and those kinds of things. I would really recommend that you take a look at the nuts and bolts of a situation, what's actually going on. Have your own kind of state of mind about it. I don't know if you can see her crown. It's all these eyeballs, right? So have your own state of mind, be your own all-seeing eye. And then in that you will find the integrity. I feel as though there's mixed motivations here. I feel as though there's great altruism, but I also feel very wary with the devil there behind. It's almost like someone who has confused intentions towards another, you know, whether they want a relationship or whether they're just having their needs met before they move on to the person that they want. There was a couple downloads over the last few days that I received about that, about how, you know, love works, and how sometimes people show affection towards other people just to placate the circumstances, and they're like the nice guy or girl, but really what they're doing is in filling their time until such a time as the circumstance that they truly want comes into their life. It feels something like that. So even though this isn't saying that something bad is happening here, I think it's a warning of like future to come. So be very careful with whom you're connecting with on an intimate level, or if it's friendship, platonic, or otherwise. Okay, here is the next message. We have the starfish spirit, which is open to infinite possibilities. Okay, so this is like a second guessing of the people that you know, thinking about their motivations. Certain things change and you start seeing through the veil, you know, of perception. And so being open to infinite possibilities, both good and bad. There's a level of being taken away here. Somebody wants to take someone away from the circumstances that they're currently facing, going in a different direction, bringing opportunity in, just completely ripping them out of their environment. The next message is eagle spirit. Spirit has your back. So it's saying that maybe you don't have to be so afraid. Maybe this is actually referencing you being in love with something or someone. Somebody's gone through something really quite tragic, and I think that maybe you're trying to in some way integrate that or bring positivity into the situation. There's someone who's behind the scenes who is manipulating a situation. There's a mastermind. There's definitely a puppeteer amidst these people and the circumstances that this reading is describing. We have the ant spirit, time to collaborate, right? So there's this connection. Who do you reach out to now? If you're this person, it's like maybe you've just walked out of a situation and now you're completely alone, completely free of attachments, and now you're considering new connections. And you're meeting all these people. The only thing that I can say is just go slow as you meet them. Go slow as you figure out who's approaching you. Who are they associated with? What is the underpinning of their motivations? I feel like there's a couple different things. I feel, if anything, this Prince of Swords, this is a Knight of Swords energy in other decks. This Prince of Swords may have very complicated feelings, as I said. They may have, in some way, altruistic feelings, but below the surface, they might have very greedy, financially driven, or even like, how do you say, like very cold motivations, narcissistic, psychopathic. Be very, very careful with this one. And it might come through as altruism. But remember, the spirit has your back. The eagle spirit, which is the Scorpio card. The eagle at its highest manifestation is Scorpio. Scorpio is at its highest manifestation is the eagle. Then there's the second opportunity, be open to infinite possibility. Now that's a really good thing, but it can also be aware that it can have like a infinite possibility of the other way around as well. So I feel like this Queen of Cups, she feels more intent driven, like she knows what she's doing, she's calculating things, and she's figuring out her trajectories. However, this person is a person that feels very much within a fate, like that's their fate and that's their circumstance, so they're very passive in what's going on. I'm going to take a break and be right back with the main reading. I'm going to clean up the cards in the meantime. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading so far, and let me know how it went. And now we're going to take a look at your second reading. If you guys want more readings, as I said, there's the playlist. There's also my app, so you can go there. Excuse me. Okay, so there we go. Hi guys, so now we're into the main reading for June and the rest of the year. A lot of the stuff in the first reading will have begun in June, and although this reading is open to a 6-month period, a lot will be starting up in June for you guys. It just feels like the right time to do the mid-year now. We have the rest and rejuvenate, the Four of Swords. Really separating yourself from certain situations so you can get a good assessment of them. I think you've been through a lot, and I think that you have this feeling that you've been through a lot and enough is enough. Then there's the Three of Swords. I feel as though there's a great regret that you're feeling towards circumstances. I feel as though you're trying to tell yourself something regarding your feelings about a situation. As you're trying to tell yourself feelings about the situation, in some way you're, how do you say, you're suppressing your true and genuine actions and beliefs. So you're trying to recreate the situation in a more favorable tone, one that makes sense. So it's kind of like you're doing like a reconstructive therapy on yourself, you know, like you're reconstructing the reality of how things were, of who people were, how they were to each other, in order to fit some kind of narrative. It has to do with a broken heart. It has to do with, something to do within your heart. The next message is the Nine of Cups, fulfillment of wishes, which is Jupiter in Pisces. Okay, so this is fulfillment of wishes, rising above circumstances, rising above problems, moving forward, moving in a new direction, hope and opportunity. I think you're hopeful that something new will come out of this. So this is the Princess of Swords. She represents that hope. She represents the energy of hope, or trying to go in a certain direction. Something new is coming in that's going to validate it. I can't say enough that you don't really want to be rescripting your life. You know, you don't want to be saying that something happened, like gaslighting yourself, telling, yourself something happened that didn't happen. The next message is the Ace of Swords, okay? And so what this represents is a breakthrough moment, breakthrough and catharsis, understanding of a new direction, insight and intuition, communication in a new path, communication in a new direction. I feel like you need to speak to something in the past. You need to redefine it, talk about it, but really with truth. If you align yourself with this false notion of what happened, you're not going to be able to speak to that accurately, and you'll just find yourself talking about it in circles again and again, because you're going to miss the point of the truth of the situation. So in some way, this front row, the Four of Swords, is the most important, in which you really trust yourself and have a good conversation with yourself and understand like what the motivation is. The eagle spirit has your back, and really trust the universe is helping you in this capacity to understand things. Here, I want to throw some of these animal cards in the middle of the reading. I don't want them to come through right away. But yeah, so I feel like there's something that you'll need to speak to in December, or maybe before, in the next 6 months. So there's something that you're going to address about your life and about your circumstances, and it's kind of a retroactive conversation about something in the past, and that will give you enlightenment about which way to go. But you have to be really truthful about your broken heart. If you're trying to really amplify a broken heart about something, then I feel like if you're trying to amplify a broken heart about something, I feel like that can be a disservice to you. The next message is the 14, which is the Sagittarian card. You need to integrate and realize and be lucid and understand. What I was trying to say about the Three of Swords, sorry, it's a bit elusive. It's like a fleeting truth. So unless fleeting truth, it's like maybe if you don't call a spade for what it is, then it will always be evasive. It will always sort of get away from you a little bit. The next message is the Shadow, which is the card of the Moon. So yeah, different hidden feelings, hidden motivations. The only thing that's suffering is you, and I feel like there's a certain piece of gratitude that you will really do well to connect with. And also we have the Sagittarian card. There was definitely a Sagittarian involved, sun, moon, or rising in the situation. This person in some way was in some way helpful to you or to your circumstances, but in some way they sort of solidified your actions and behaviors, and so therefore it's kind of like they helped you out, but in doing so it was like bad energy for you, because you now don't have the power to sort of reprimand it or improve it, because it's already in somebody else's hands. And Sagittarians kind of have this way of proliferating things out, like splaying things out. So you don't have the same kind of energy structure to be able to like grapple with that. So it's really something that's now, it's like something that's solidified. It's something that's kind of compressed. It's something that is now, it's like telling a secret, and that secret sort of proliferating out towards people, and then you don't have control over it as it becomes a rumor. The next message is the Eight of Swords, and that's bad karma for you, among other things. So we have the Eight of Swords next. So this is the painful lesson. Maybe therein it's also the broken heart, because I feel like maybe you come to realize of the structure of your behavior and how that's actually negatively impacted your future, and how that's negatively, because it's outside of your control now in certain respects. And so now you are in some way getting something that you want, but it's completely undermined by this Eight of Swords, or somebody is going through this around you. This could be someone that's done this to you. Then we have the Hanged Man. This is the Sacrifice card. Delays. You're wanting things to move forward, but there's definitely delays. Open to infinite possibilities. So somebody asked me, like, how do you fix your karma? This was a client. How do you fix your karma? He's a Taurus. How do you fix your karma? And I'm like, well, if you screw up somebody's life, then you live with the karma of that. If somebody did that to you, they have a debt to pay to you. And it's not like up to them to say, I'm sorry, and then feel better about that. And it's not up to them to put you down and be like, oh, well, they don't even deserve it because, I don't, people justify these things. Those are very kind of unconscious kind of responses, or not really conscious or aware. But if you're conscious, if you're a spirit being, then you understand that like this event that happened, had a real impact either on your life or on the life of the person who did this to you. And even though they're getting something that they want, or maybe you're getting something what you want, there's always that kind of reality check, and that's you literally shot yourself in the foot, or somebody else you gave the gun to someone to shoot you in the foot with. That Sagittarian energy. Where was that again? Oh yeah, there's Sagittarius again. So that came through twice right at the beginning. So it's like, well, what can you do with that now that it's something that's outside of your sphere, that you're no longer in control of something? It's like you throw something off of a cliff. It's that girl who threw the chair. I don't know if you guys know, because this happened in Canada, but in Toronto, a girl threw a chair off the top of like a 20-story building, 30-story building. I mean, I don't think anybody died, but I think she was charged. It's like once you throw that thing, wherever it goes, it's just you don't have necessarily control over what happens with it, and that karma goes great to you. So that's why there's magic is problematic in many directions. So what I think is happening here, somebody's like hella delayed. Somebody's life is hella delayed by the fact of and they're coming the realization, like, I could have had this, I could have had it in pure form, but my behavior has completely stunted growth, of the thing. That doesn't mean that the person's not going to get it, but I feel like this is the self-awareness of what you have done to yourself or done to others that's affecting you life now. And that's the awareness you should have had way before. But if you're having it now, then that's going to be the change for a new direction. There's the Devil right away. So you see this change, this really lucky change that you see, the right way to go about with doing things. And here comes the Devil almost immediately offering you some kind of seductive energy. Like you almost make it, you almost see the light, you almost see the point of it all. And then boom, the Devil comes, and and that doesn't have to be a person, it can be a situation or a temptation that's around you. A new beginning, right? New beginning and a new path, new doors being opened, different directions. The next message is the Wheel of Fortune. So this is the second time we saw this, and that came through literally just now, right here. So this is the Wheel of Fortune, right? Jupiter right here. So changes in fortune, new direction, opportunities beckon. You know, that's that Princess of Swords energy here. We have the Balance card, which is the card of Libra. Okay? And so what is fair? You're thinking about what is fair, or somebody is thinking about what is fair in relation to you. If this has happened to you, then I think you're the one who's receiving blessings. If you've done this to someone else, then they're the ones who are receiving the blessings as you release awareness. It doesn't even energetically, what happens is that you release awareness of what you've done, and that consciousness like proliferates down, and it's get all the trapped energy. You have been literally building a dam, or that person has been literally building blockages, right, with their awareness. And now as they release the awareness with regard to what has been done against karma, and fairness is setting in, what's been wrong is being made right. That doesn't mean you're off the hook. That doesn't mean they're off the hook. But it actually means that in some way that truth is acknowledged, like outright, right? And that makes it more powerful. The next message is the Nine of Rods. So seclusion and separation, taking, again, there's this strong message of you taking a step back. I just want to mention this. I didn't lift this before, but I intended to. This is the Prince of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. I think he's really, really handsome, actually. Kind of. Yeah, he is. I know it's an illustration, but I get excited when cards have like beautiful men on them, because usually they don't. So anyway, we have the Prince of Swords, and I felt like that was really strong. So maybe he's a Libra for you, or maybe this is someone who gets involved. And this isn't direct, like, it could be a direct cause and effect, like where you do something, someone else does something in return. But this could be an indirect proliferation, like this person starts coming around whenever this is happening. It's an energetic sort of bubble that he gets like sucked into and starts showing up in your life in some way. And he could be by proxy or by unconsciousness and connection through energy or spirit. They could be influencing the circumstances either for your favor. This can also mean that now you're gaining a relationship with this person after a period of like a very complicated relationship when someone else, like an ex-partner, was really holding you back from a relationship. So this person is coming through now really strong, available for a relationship, and completely present. Okay, so here is, let's cut the deck one more time. Let's draw the next line and see if we get more messages. I know this got a little long, sorry. So we have the Strength card, the Leo card. This is spirit. This is you knowing which way to go. There is a way out of all these circumstances. The Princess of Swords came out very prominently in this reading. And so the Princess of Swords came out last in the other reading. She came out first in this reading. So she's a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. This could be you. This is also a state of mind, like knowing you have to cut your losses sometimes. You have to move forward with things. That doesn't, again, let anybody off the hook, but what it does is allow you the opportunity to grow in new directions. You just need to figure out what those directions are. The Power or the Strength card, transformation and Scorpio. Okay, so change and transformation, good luck for the better. I think that the Queen of Cups is coming in with the Jupiter card, which is good luck, opportunity. Jupiter's leading into your 8th house in December, and so that is in Capricorn where all those transits are. That's why everything is so volatile, but by December it's going to be like much better. I told you guys last year that by December things are going to get much better, and definitely by July as well. You don't have to wait that long. And I don't think June is bad. I just think that the June for you is a precursor to the full moon eclipse in July in the 8th house. That's going to be monumental. That's going to be when people start really realizing things and having real awareness. Now it's coming up to the surface. There's also this rejoice and celebration. Reunion is yours. A reconnection with someone. There's there's recurring possibilities for you to reconnect with someone. That's shown up several times over. And then we have the Disruption card, which is the Tower card, which we saw again. So it's like just some things can't be fixed. If it's happened to you, some things can't be fixed if it's done to another. I just get this sense that there's only so much you can do, and you just have to basically, in some ways, take the good with the bad and accept some of the losses that you're incurring in order to have the new beginning. Otherwise, you'll be sitting there dealing with the losses, you know. Losing the respect of someone is a huge loss. The last card is 7 of Wands, which is Mars in Leo. So standing your ground. If this has happened to you, hold on, because restitution is coming. Time to collaborate. There's people who are going to come in when you're most alone to collaborate and connect with you, and this is going to be a connection of integrity. So I feel like you're getting a second chance. In other words, I feel throughout this next 6-month period, and definitely in June, getting a reunion opportunity, a second chance with someone over and over again. It's almost like you and they have this kind of special alignment between your planets in your astrological chart that in some way is giving you the opportunity to revisit time and again the same kind of circumstances, the same kind of situations, circumstances, etc. The next message is the Tower, the business card. So taking some time out to think about business, taking some time out to deal with the business, the ramifications of business decisions in the past. The next message is we have the Bridges card. So there's new opportunities. Remember, if you've been wronged, as that person is coming to realize that they have wronged you, whoever has wronged someone else is coming in to realize that they have wronged that person, and that creates a bridge for both of them. It creates the person who has done something wrong, it creates a bridge for them out of purgatory, right? Out of being suspended and not having the right resolution. And the person who's been trapped by the evil actions, and they are evil actions, that person is in some way now being like approved. Like there's this strong approval of, how do you say, like there's a confirmation that how do you say, that like the good that was stripped of that person is now being returned to them, you know. And so balance is restored, you know, and it has a long, how do you say, far-reaching consequence. The next message is the Star. So success is yours. You're still going for success. You're still going for having a very strong presence, a very prolific presence, to have like strong standing. The next message is the Ring and commitment. A new beginning. New commitments. I feel like there's a whole new set of circumstances that you will be dealing with, new sets of people. The next message is the Stork, changing direction. I told you guys this. Watch your 2019's overview. That's what I said, the right turn. This is it, you know, right turn over and over again as you make confirmation about what's happened, whether it's good or bad. You make confirmation about what's happened, and that informs which direction you're taking. I forgot to show you guys the bottom card. So on the bottom you have the crown chakra, which is ascension. It's like very much like out of your control. I feel like it's very much out of your control. Something's really out of your control and you're along for the ride. The next message is the Letter card. So communication about the decision to make a commitment. Somebody could write to you or communicate with you that they're intending on changing the level of commitment with you. I think you're going to take time to think about it, though. I think you're going to like really consider. Somebody's changing their commitment with someone else. Then we have the Snake. I feel as though there's a fire. There's a Leo woman, possibly woman, who's a problem for you. I feel like there's a commitment with work, but it doesn't come without obstacles. And I feel like some of this is being removed at this new beginning. I feel like this will show up in your life, this kind of interconnection between you and someone else. You'll hang out with them, you'll talk to them, you'll reunite with them, but I don't think it's going to last. I don't think that this situation will last. The next message is the Mice, And so I feel like as you're making some choices, there will be people who kind of see that as a vulnerability that they can exploit or prey on, and so you need to be playing a tight game. The next message is the Mask. And so this is almost like a bluff, like you're going to make a strong stand, but I feel like it's a bluff. And behind, I think that there's a lot of things shifting for you in your life. This is the Tower, and that came up twice in this reading. So there's like a new level of integrity that's coming into your consciousness, and you're making a strong stand, but you're really taking a lot of time to think to yourself, figure out what you want. And I think that's going to direct like new directions. It's going to take you down new paths. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple tokens. I got 6 here. So we have sunrise, the new beginning. So this is like, it's coldest before the sunrise, right? So when the sun rises, right before, half an hour before it rises, it gets so cold because the cold air is being pushed by the sun's energy. Isn't that dope? There's this like line of like dip in the energy, or in the temperature, and I feel like this is a similar circumstance. And then we have the sunset, also sunset on something, the end of that situation that was sort of keeping you captive. There's love in this situation, opportunities, people opening up their hearts to you. There's a Capricorn who's involved. That could be the Devil card, but I do feel like the Devil is more of a figurative card rather than denoting the sign of Capricorn. I think it's talking about that there is someone who has ulterior motives, and I think you feel it, I think you sense it, I think you know it's going on. And then we have Pallas Athene, in which there's justice and order brought into a situation. And then we have your little chip, which is Gemini. You might be dealing with another Gemini as you take a different direction, a different course, a different action. You're doing a reset, and that's a good thing, and I feel like maybe this Prince of Swords is another Gemini, and you're connecting with another Gemini. Two Geminis together are like the funniest thing, because in some ways they're like, we're the twins, you guys love saying that. It's kind of funny. So we have the Prince of Swords. That doesn't mean you have to start a relationship, but there's like a closer, see, this is what I picked, sisterhood and brotherhood, just randomly. So maybe there's communication with like fraternity connections with family members. And then we have relaxation. There's relaxation, somebody who's coming into the picture, who has their own stuff to say, who has their own agenda. And then we have spontaneity, very, very quick change. When you think less things are going to change, that's when they do. So I think that like love is coming up very, very fast for you, unexpectedly, but it's almost like you're going to be doing like, I really want to talk to you, but I have to take care of this right now. So you're going to be doing that. I think it's received, but like it's going to be a lot of, you're going to be managing any new love situations that you have going on, or established love. You're going to be putting a lot more attention to this other set of circumstances that you're caught up in, and that's sort of the loss as well, for everybody. But if you're not the one who's caused the transgression, then you're going to be compensated for it, like spiritually and otherwise, right? So whoever's been harmed is going to, I think that's what the Justice card means, whoever's been harmed is going to, be well. And I feel like in some way behind the scenes somebody puts up a really good, triumphant sort of battle call or whatever, but below the scenes, that I think that the foundation is corroded in that situation. So it's very clear what's going on. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading for the rest of the year. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to check out my June extended, it's in the Vimeo. So June Tarot on Vimeo. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.